Hey, Decathlon Gamer, welcome back to FM21, Worst to First. It's episode number 5. We're on our road, black and purples, and the only change to the side this time, now mid-January, a little bit later on, is that Black Widow is in at defensive mid for Black Panther. Black Panther on paper, according to the assistant coach, is 5 stars, but in reality, he's only got a few 7s and a lot of 6s. Oh, Jean Grey, wow. What precision. What a decision. It's not an easy shot, but she didn't overdo it. It wasn't terribly difficult. It was just place it in the bottom corner. It was straight as an arrow. It didn't have a ton of power, but it was just inside the post, and keeper made a little bit of a meal out of it, and we're up 1-0. Anyway, Black Widow, who's been on the bench throughout, she's got 7s and everything, so more than half 6s for Black Panther was enough to make that switch, even though she's showing 1 star and he's showing 5. But again, that's the assistant manager. That's not what I see. All right, so here's Nebula in possession. There's Jean Grey, who got the goals. Really nice goal. Here's a really nice one over the top for Wolverine. And it's 2-0 inside 10 minutes. No skill, no speed. Wow, I cannot believe how far a few stronger mental attributes can really, really carry you. That, by far, is the revelation of this series. I've, on a couple occasions, started with those all ones, and they were absolute garbage. And they did, as Wolverine gets another 13 minutes, and it's 3-0. Wow. Anyway, okay, we're good on speed. Those teams were atrocious, losing games 6-0, getting maybe 2 goals in the season. I had a season where we had 1 point the whole year. I had a season where we had like 5 points, 7 points the whole year. And another occasion where it was, maybe 12 points. And that was the fairly developed one. I thought that was out of bounds and went off the... Okay. It looked like it hit the advertising board. Oh, it was Storm. It did look like it hit the advertising board, but Storm made a nice save. But instead of parrying it away, she pushed it back out offside for Thor. Really nice goal, though. Flicked on by Wolverine. And yes, just offside from Thor. Job chasing it down. And it all just shows the strong mental side of this, where they make a lot of proper decisions, even though it's only a few mental attributes that they even have. The aggression, the determination, their decisions aren't up there. Their leadership isn't up there. I mean, they're still lacking in so many mental attributes, but a few good, strong ones are absolutely carrying this group to unprecedented heights for any of those start at 1 current ability teams that I've ever played with. Tactical familiarity getting better and better. We're down to just a couple players now that don't know their positions, besides a lot of the starters. A lot of the bench players, they still don't know. Groot, good setup there, but defense clears out at 1 away, and it's out for the throw. Approaching halftime, now 3-1, so after a very, very quick start where we really caught this team out, their skill is starting to show through a little bit, and we've got a much closer game. You can see how many kind of hustle plays that we're able to make that the other teams aren't. Oh, terrible goalkeeping. That was right at the keeper. Ganderton should be going down as an own goal on that one. But there's that overlap with Jean Grey. Brilliant cross. I mean, this is without skill. But that thing was straight at Ganderton's left shoulder. Gets only the left arm up and then bangs it off. It looked like maybe the inside of the wrist, and it goes in. It's 4-1 at the half. We've only had 6 shot attempts. We've only got a 0.73 XG. We are not going out there and crushing this thing, but we're getting goals on just half-quarter chances over and over again, partially due to the lack of their quality. Second half, looks like we're cruising towards another victory, and based on that, I really am starting to think that there's a very good chance that we're going to win the league in this first season and start that climb early. Now, those mental attributes will eventually be caught up by some of the skills. But at the same time, as we climb the ladder, we're going to start to see the skills of our opponents raise drastically, probably faster than we're able to raise. I mean, sure, we have tremendous potential, but I'm guessing that the rate of progression via division is going to be faster than our rate of progression as players, I would think, especially when we lack facilities, coaching, reputation, and whatnot. Anyway, we're an hour in. It's 4-1. I think that's a good time to start making some subs. Nebula is not in the mood, so let's go ahead and start there. We have Iron Man as her reserve. It really helps when those reserves start learning their positions so that I can actually identify who needs to go where. Black Widow sitting on 2 assists. Doctor Strange with 1. Jean Grey with 1. That's our 4 goals. Iron Man not really in the mood either, but we won't do anything about that as he just came on. Doctor Strange on a yellow. Let's go ahead and bring in, let's see, who is Star-Lord? Is our other fullback. Ooh, nice ball over the top, and looks like he was offside. Okay. 85th minute. One more sub we could make. Ooh, Gamora goes really close on that one. Anybody struggling? Anybody struggling? How about Captain America? Oh, that was disallowed. Not sure why. Cyclops. Okay. Oh, okay. Woodman was offside in the build-up to that one. The assist man. Gamora heads that one away, but they're off to the races again. That's obviously our weakest point right now, is a bit of a lack of speed. I mean, we seem to get first step over a lot of other players with the mental strength that we have, but then from second step on, they're outpacing us. And so the further the ball is away, the longer they have to chase, easier it is to beat. So long balls over the top absolutely is our weak point. 11-8 on the shots, but 4-1 on the scoreline. XG, we were behind by a slight margin, but we were behind nonetheless, and we still won by 3 goals. So it's clear that on paper we're not as good, but we're just getting carried by the mental strength. Very shocking. Anyway, I know you've heard me say that a lot through these first 5 episodes. I think we will move our focus away from that. Nice beating expectations. By the way, I have an A+ evaluation from the board right now. So Nick Fury, very happy with what we've done. Plus 29 on the goal differential, and Enfield Borough have lost in this round. We're now equal on points at 38, plus 11 over Stotfold. So first, it's clear that we're looking at a top 2 position now, as we still have 10 to play, but I absolutely think we can compete for the overall. In terms of development, we're getting a lot of players slowly pushing towards those 7s. We've seen a couple of 8s show up, but for the most part, we're still lacking. I think it's the position training. Comment section did mention that when you train a new position, it actually does degrade your attributes a little bit as you learn a position. And while we're getting familiarity, they're not naturals at the position yet. So they're still training. They're still learning the position, and that's still taking up some of their focus, their attention. And if that's true, that would explain why we're seeing a little bit of a regression. And at the same time, coaching. Yeah, coaching. We are coming along, though. Look, we have a staff of 4. Head coach, okay, yeah, but terrible assistant coach. Now a terrible head of youth development and one regular coach. It's all still really bad. It's very bad. Speaking of bad, here is the awful training that we have. We have the attacking coaching taken care of, though, between Max Moss and new guy Paul Smith. 1.5 stars each is all that they can muster. That's how bad it is. But the more I take away assignments from Professor X, the more his qualities will shine through in the areas that he is providing support. Now, I'm doing a lot of extra training in fitness where they're getting 1 star. I need a fitness coach so bad so that I can replace Professor X on that. He's good in the possession and the defending. So can I get him to where it's just that, and maybe we focus on those things early on? It kind of would make sense if we did. Better coaching should get better results, and that's the only place I'm going to get better coaching. But I'm still going to have to relieve him of some of his other duties for that to really be a thing. I want the physical training. I want the speed training because that's our obvious weakness. Our lack of skills are being carried through in other ways. So if we improve, say, defending, sure, that's nice. That's helpful. But it still doesn't deal with our lack of speed. Mr. 2 Fitness, Anthony Isles, 3 months of a search, and he's still been the only one who responded. So I finally sucked it up and just accepted. I only signed him to a 5-month deal. We really need to find a real fitness coach, but it's better than nothing. He's got 1.5 stars. That's better than Professor X had. Also, it takes Professor X off another training area, and so it gets him that much closer to being more effective in the areas he is training. And so it's better than nothing, I guess. Not much, but better than nothing. And just days later, we might have ourselves another coach to add to the staff, and we do. Skiverton actually is not that bad. Not that bad at all. 12 defending, 12 working with youngsters, determination, discipline, motivating are all fairly decent. And this one came from the coaching staff. So great target from them. And he's willing to sign, so thank you, Max Moss. On the road at 3rd place, Langford. No changes to the side today. We're into March. We've had 3 wins on the trot, and we've gone from a tie atop the league to actually pulling away quite a bit. I believe we're 9 points ahead through those 3 matches, as they've lost all 3, our opponent. Doctor Strange picks up the ball here. Nebula, almost hit the overlap, but gets Black Widow through. Jean Grey, decent first touch on that one, but it was a little long. She didn't quite get it under control, and then it put her off for the shot. She ends up sending it wide, off target, but a good start. We are favored for this one. We've won 11 straight matches overall, setting records, of course. Everything's a record because it's first year of the team. But that growth is starting to show up. We are seeing more 8s throughout the squad, but still mostly 7s. Storm really makes a meal of that one. Her lack of skill showed up there. She might have strong mental as she read it well, but she could not stop that. That's ugly. Completely reads it, gets right there underneath it, but I don't know, tried to hang on to it, and it slips through her hands. That was not good. Not good at all. Her rating should be a lot lower than a 6.5 right now. Deadpool, you can see how slow he is getting back to that ball. Held. Free kick. Good chance there. Nothing doing. We trail in this one as we approach halftime, so it's a different position that we haven't been in a while. Thor, Doctor Strange, pretty demotivated right now. Wolverine as well. Wolverine gets a real chance to tie this one before the half. Can't do it. It's out for the corner. Here's Captain America. Can't win that header. Doctor Strange will reset. Try to bring the ball forward. That's it for the highlight, and that's it for the half. Bad ratings. Besides that close chance there for Wolverine right before the end, it was all them. They're ahead on the shots. They're ahead on the possession. We picked up some XG there, but otherwise, really, really poor display. So this is, for the first time, it's my time. Do we go as bad as throw the water bottle? Yeah, I wouldn't go that far, but we will point finger and show me something else. A few of them are nervous or aggressive, but the rest respond pretty well to that. And we go into the second half. A sub from the opponents, Langford here, who sit third in the league. This is an important match for them. Not necessarily for us, as we are definitely pulling away in the league, but putting an end to the streak could make things go poorly. I think we have the mental strength to overcome, as that was a terrible decision. Back pass straight to the opponent. Lucky we didn't get called on yellow card on that. And that's an hour already gone by. So Groot having a horrendous day. Let's go ahead and bring in Ant-Man. Pause. Already 70th minute. Very attacking. And let's see here. Who else? Black Widow is happy, though. Gamora is the one who is not. Let's go ahead and bring on somebody who's going to give a little effort, right? Iron Man happy. Okay, so 2 subs coming in. Come on, folks. 6-6 on the shots. Really struggling. Nothing's happening. No highlights whatsoever. Doctor Strange, that just means they have good defense that can handle our speed. Here's Wolverine with a chance over the top. Offside. Boy, that did not look offside. It looked like it was timed well. But okay, that's the call. Thor. Jean Grey. Opts for the corner kick. Bangs it off the defender. That's a good one. Black Widow was definitely working to get on the end of it. Defense. Wins the header. Clears it out. Jean Grey keeps this in. Starts counterattack. 89th minute. Nebula. Nice ball ahead. Here's Wolverine. But again, wastes the shot. Oh, what a goal from Nebula to save at least a point in this one. Ball ping-ponging around just a little bit. And that was a difficult shot for Nebula. Off the head. Off so many different people. And then Nebula, beautiful shot. Just catching a piece of the post and then hits the inside netting and flashes across the other way. But it's 1-1. Here is the end of time. Can we grab 3 points? Good chance, Doctor Strange. This is the opportunity to grab the win. But they do come out better in the second half and do enough at least to save a point. So the win streak is at an end. But the games without losing continues. I'll give them credit for at least coming back and getting the draw. They are happy by that. We want to build confidence, not destroy it. We do lead, and it looks like Enfield Borough grabbed 1 point today, so it remains at 9 adrift. So just 6 left to play as we have gone forward into March. So we were very much drawing in close to the end of the season. We got a 3-game cushion with 6 to play, so it's looking pretty good. They have slipped all the way back. Stotfield, Langford have very much caught up towards them anyway from their big gap. First check-in in a while with the team. I think we're about 1 day away from our youth intake, which, are we even going to have anybody? Our youth level is 0. Our youth facilities are 0 or 1, whatever the minimum is. Okay, well, here is Storm. She is 6s across the board. That is progress because she was mostly 5s. So getting some time at keeper is helping. Also, we signed a goalkeeping coach. Atrocious, 1.5 stars. But we've just about filled out that coaching staff now. And we have a single 1-star category left. Everything else is 1.5 stars or better. A lot of them are 2 stars. It's not good, but it's a lot better than straight 1s across the board. Thor up to 7s, and we see his first 8 in anticipation. Wolverine, who was mostly 6s, even though he's been playing striker this whole season, and is accomplished up there. He started every single match. Finally, most categories are approaching 7. Still a handful that are 6. Ant-Man, who was up and down, is now coming back up. Still mostly 6s, some 7s, balances to 8, so that's good. Is accomplished at right wing, competent on the left wing now, so coming along, still growing, still developing. Black Panther, who largely stalled, is slowly getting things up to a 7. Black Widow, 7s across the board, starting to see first 8s, acceleration, balance. Captain America had a lot of 6s, now 7s across the board. Cyclops still has some work to do. Started the first couple matches, first handful, maybe 5. Been on the bench ever since and still not really getting there. And only slowly learning. Center back, speaking of, we're down to 4 players, 2 starters, 2 bench players, Cyclops being one of those bench players that have not become at least competent, or whatever competent is there, proficient at a position yet. Deadpool starting to come along. Okay, that is progress that we were not seeing earlier. So Deadpool, I think now that actually they're one of the ones that still hasn't gotten the position figured out, one of the 2 starters. But they are finally emerging out of that. Doctor Strange still on the decline, but does finally have left back figured out. So we might start to see this bounce back. Concentration's at 8. Positioning's coming up. There are some 7s in there, but definitely not good. Gamora starting to look good. Quite a few 8s. Pace, stamina, strength, vision, off the ball positioning, concentration, and anticipation. And she is doing quite well at her center mid position. So right now I'd say she's probably our top player. Jean Grey, mix, couple 6s still in there. Technically a little behind. Mentally, composure's to an 8, so she's a little ahead. Pace is an 8, so the training is paying off. Groot, still mostly 6s. An increasing number of 7s. Physical attributes are coming up slowly. Hulk, still really struggling. Mostly 5s, but had some 4s and 5s. And we're seeing some 6s. So Hulk is progressing despite only playing a single match. Iron Man, not so good. There's a reason why he's on the bench. But does have that center mid position learned, so hopefully we'll start growing. Nebula is coming along. Now 7s, and even the first 2 8s. Acceleration and stamina showing up. She was lagging behind a little bit, but we now see 7s across the board. So she's caught up after her regression there for a little bit. Spider-Man still struggling to learn a position, even though when he's been training, not doing so well. Some 7s actually could potentially see him seeing the starting lineup ahead of Wolverine if he picks up his position. Star-Lord has right back figured out, so that's good. And where we were seeing regression, it's now going the right direction, but it's still mostly 6s, so long ways to go on that. And Storm 6s across the board. So we are seeing progress. It's slow. I mean, we're just starting to climb into some 8s. So if we started 6s almost cross board with everybody, we have played most of a year. I mean, we're, 9 months in, and we've picked up about 1 point. If you add 1 point per season, it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. I mean, 1 point per season. 10 years from now, we'll see 16s, 17s. Depending on your count on what 10 years is after 10 seasons, or 10 years from 13th March 2021. Let's see that youth intake. It should be due in roughly a day. Will we even have any intake? Yes, we should have an intake. I had the notice in prep for it a while back. I got a U18s I'll have to bypass. We're into April. We still don't have a youth intake. I've never had one this late. It's going to take some getting used to have it this late on. But, okay, It'll happen when it happens. It's not going to impact us in any way. Our level is so low that they should be rather horrible. But in a way, they'll actually be better than the 18 we have now. But we're not going to focus on bringing those guys in. We've got our league wrapped up, it looks like, without that being an issue, without needing them. So we had one coaching vacancy left. I'd rather have a fitness coach than a goalkeeping coach for that. I'd rather have one good goalkeeping coach and two fitness coaches. But for now, the weakest we have was a goalkeeping slot. And actually, this Ronnie Orchard guy is pretty good compared to what we have. So I think slowly our reputation is building. Also, board, they want me to sign a new contract. I'm getting an A+ for the year. So I actually like. All right, well, I tried for additional years. They weren't going for it. That's not a big deal. We'll get it when it comes. 1-year deal is signed. That's a lot of money, and that, I think, has something to do with why the team is at a little bit of a deficit right now. But it's signed. We stick with them, and now I should have some sort of leverage to push for another upgrade of some type. It's hard to say which direction we should actually go in next. Obviously, the training facilities are the most important. That's already happening and still ongoing. So from there, what to do? I don't know. Youth level, maybe? We'll give that a shot. All right, so looks like that one is going to pay off because they have accepted the deal. So that is already the second thing we've been able to push through in this very first season. It's going to cost $250,000. That should create a significant increase. And with 5 games left to go in the season, we still don't have that youth intake. It's into April. We'll have to open our next episode with that. Of course, it's very insignificant right now, but it's still a thing, and everybody cares to see how that goes, if you're going to get any quality. And Fieldborough now 12 points adrift with just 5 to play. So we actually could just about wrap things up in the next episode. Actually, if we win, they lose. It is wrapped up in the next match. So getting very close. 16 wins from 21 played, 3 draws, just 2 losses this season. And both of those came within the first, about 4-5 matches. That does it for this one, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.